Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Jorie Tech Talks Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us, someone who's not only an expert in navigating the legal intricacies of the healthcare industry, but also plays a pivotal role in making sure Jorie stays ahead of the curve. Meet Kyle, our esteemed general counsel. Hey, Kyle, what's up?
Hi, Grant. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you here. Glad you didn't get headphones, though. I don't know if you can be part of the group yet or not.
No, well, tough to find any that fit around my big head. So,
all right, we'll get. That's good. Today, we're going to dig into some fascinating topics, ranging from the complexities of AI in healthcare to the personal experiences that shaped Kyle's career. We're even going to get to how he balances high-stakes nature of his job with life outside of the boardroom. So get ready for a riveting conversation that's going to give you an insider look into the world of health tech law, investment strategies, and even more. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. The opportunities are few and far between that Sal and Arlene let me have a public appearance just for liability purposes. So happy to be here.
We'll see if he actually lets you talk. We'll see what happens.
He usually doesn't.
Well, that's all right. We're going to ask you all the questions at least, right? So Here we go. We're going to see a little bit more about yourself. So I hear you play hoops and you kill it on the basketball court.
I did. I was fortunate enough to play college basketball here in Chicago at the University of Illinois Chicago, UIC, and we were successful when I was there. So it was a lot of fun. We made it to the NCAA tournament one year. We made it to the NIT another year. So we were a good team, and it was a lot of fun, and certainly a lot of great life learning experiences for sure.
Well, congratulations. That's very cool stuff.
Go Flames. Hey,
go Flames. You got it there.
As a basketball player, how tall are you?
I'm 6'8".
Could you stand up for us real quick?
How tall are you as an attorney?
Same size still, thankfully. The shrinking has not yet begun.
Cool.
I think we had to, raise our doors up a little bit higher here at Jorie to accommodate Kyle and to get bigger chairs. Obviously, part of the initiation into Jorie is that you're going to have to play Kyle on the court, and if you let him slam dunk over you, you're out.
No posters. Well, there should be some quick games. Well, Kyle, tell us more about you. Tell us everything that's interesting to know. What inspired you to specialize in law?
I realized I was a finance major in college, and I realized at the time I thought a secondary degree was of critical importance to further into my career, and I certainly had seen enough Law and Orders and had aspirations, of the big criminal, defense attorney. But I always kind of knew I would get into law. I thought I wasn't sure if I would practice as an attorney, but I thought that was a great quiver to have in my arsenal. And so I after I graduated college, I played basketball for a little bit, and I took a year off in between going to law school. But that was kind of the goal always in mind, was to go to law school.
Well, cool. That's very neat. So was it a particular case, a technology, or personal experience that drew you there, or just having something else to backdrop on?
Yeah, no. I have some family members that are attorneys and some good friends that were taking a similar route. So it was the backdrop part of it for sure. But it wasn't a particular case per se, but it was something that I always had an interest in.
Okay. So how has your legal background prepared you for the challenges of AI and healthcare?
Well, I can tell you that my background in the legal profession is a diverse one. I started off working for a very well-known insurance defense firm. I was there for approximately 6 years, so I cut my teeth, as they say, in the litigation side of things. And then I moved to a top 50 law firm in the country, and that was where I kind of transitioned from the litigation to more of a transactional side of things. And that was really a result of my ability to bring in a diverse set of clients. So we weren't just doing their litigation anymore, but we were handling all matters, soup to nuts. So I was able to kind of get a taste of, a couple different big aspects of the law. And so I think that really helped prepare me for being a general counsel. So I've been a general counsel at one other company before, and have transitioned here to Jorie and been here for a year. But certainly not just being, not just pigeonholing myself into one area or aspect of the law, I think has really helped me be someone that can be a real asset as a general counsel.
Sure. The next question was kind of answered. We'll see past roles or cases that were specially formative to your current role.
Yeah, I don't think nothing in particular that stands out. I will say though, having a large Rolodex of clients and each of them having a different personality has certainly helped me here in my role specifically at Jorie, because I spend a lot of time working with our investors, and no investor is the same. Obviously, their goal is the same, right? It's all for Jorie to be successful, but there's a lot of different questions and a lot of different personalities, and I think my past experience working with a whole bunch of different types of clients has helped me here at Jorie for sure.
Sure.
And to clarify, a Rolodex is a contact list of people for those.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say Rolodex. We're dealing with an AI tech company. Huh?
I'm of a certain age that went right past me. Like, that doesn't need explaining. Yet, good luck on finding one in any of our offices, right?
Sure, exactly.
So I'd like to challenge Kyle a little bit, right? Like, obviously, being an attorney is utmost importance of just trying to guide us through the compliance and everything. But, with AI, things are just kind of groundbreaking right now. There's a lot of challenges in regards to what is automation, what role do they play. One of the challenges that we're going to be facing down the road, and we still are, even currently, is how much is AI is humanized versus is it a program or a robotic process. And these are like big, legal challenges that will, come down the road. Obviously with us, we have several answers for every situation. And then just kind of navigating through that, having an attorney that, that also works with other attorneys as we will tackle on some of these complex, topics in healthcare that have not been around before. So Kyle, hang on to your hat there.
No, yeah, it's an ever-changing landscape, right? It's an exciting time for sure. And as Sal mentioned, Sal and Arlene and Chris and our team, they're a wealth of knowledge, and we all do our reading and we try and stay on top of things. And we're certainly, frequently working with our outside counsel and staying on top of things. But it's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah, I just saw, I think in the news today, it's probably been out there a while, that even the patent office is now trying to deal with what's AI, who owns the patent, is it patentable or trademarkable content, anyhow, all that kind of stuff. So go ahead, Kyle.
No, I was just saying we have excellent patent counsel too for just those reasons, right? So that's again, it's exciting because it's new, but it's also it's belt and suspenders time for sure.
Yeah. So Kyle, in your words, what's Jorie's competitive edge compared to other companies? What do I hear as an investor, potential investor?
Sure. Well, you hear a couple of things. One, I think you starts with Sal and Arlene and Chris, right? It's their brain that makes up the bot technology, and it's their vast years of experience. I think that puts us ahead of the field. I think it's a unique situation where we are a healthcare company that got into technology. I think a lot of our competitors are inverted from that situation, and I think therein lies some of their struggles. Right? It's the fact that we understand the space and the libraries of knowledge that make up our bot technology. Our Sal and Arlene's 30+ years of experience. I think that's a big differentiator off the bat.
I know, and I heard that in early podcasts and interviews. That was a strong point, that that's where you guys came from. That was the base. So that's really good. So there's no shortage of startups in healthcare. What makes Jorie stand out if we didn't already answer that yet?
Yeah, no. Well, I think there's a couple things. It's almost tough to call us a startup at this point, right? Because of because of the fact that we're teed up and set up with global infrastructure, right? And the tech is fully developed, and we continue to develop new products that are well above the curve and way ahead, years ahead of our competitors. But yeah, I mean, it's that coupled with the fact that we have a lot of clients already. Right? We're constantly bringing on new clients, but we have a stable of really, really, really strong clients that are going to drive revenues for us this year and next year and into the future. So it's tough, I think, to even call us a startup, even though we're just a couple years old. It's exciting times for sure.
So what about startups that think they can catch up with you?
Well, I wish them good luck. I do think, I think, there'll always be people out there that say they can do what you can do. But I'm not sure that they can, and we haven't seen that yet. And certainly, our batting average is near perfect when it comes to working with clients, getting in there, showing them what we can do, implementing in a very timely fashion, and then delivering the savings and the efficiencies that we advertise. Right now there's no one else I don't think that can do that. And certainly, we're up for the challenge, and I don't think you're not gonna beat our technology. You're not gonna beat our customer service. We're always here. We're able to work through any issues because we're always readily available.
Right. Okay.
And Grant, I want to speak to the the barrier to entry. And when I call barrier to entry, it's like sometimes when you talk about startups and entrepreneurs, I do sympathize and commiserate with the process because I've been there. And we all want a piece of the future, something that'll give us more than our current jobs. And so I want to say to all the entrepreneurs out there, keep trying. Understand it's the innovation that makes this world really click, and that's what we're doing is we're delivering this innovation. At the same time, the barriers to entry to get there is not just the brightest idea, but who's willing to roll up their sleeves to get there and create this barrier. And some of our barriers are, like what Kyle said, a global infrastructure, a automation that is relevant right now, that is already built, that's delivering savings to the healthcare institutions, a global revenue cycle organization, and a healthcare background. When you realize all the skill sets that you have, that is the barrier to entry as an entrepreneur to even get to the level of being in the game, so to speak. And that's something I talked to Chris about is, whenever we overcome a situation, we're still in the game. And in order to be in the game, you have to have people like Kyle, and you have to have people like Chris, and a whole support team around you. And even if you did not have one deal, this is your barrier to entry before you can even get a deal, right? And then to execute the solution. And when Kyle is on the line here, he represents one of our strong suits in our or departments in our organization, and that's the capital raise part of it. Because without the capital raise, without the runway, everything that we do at Jorie to bring sales, to bring value to our investors, might run out of cash. So it can't be done by one person. It has to be done with a team. And Kyle's been excellent at it. One of the things we do with Kyle is we send him out to the golf course, and he needs to raise cash. He's so good at it. He shames our investors into writing checks when they're done. And so they come back all sweaty. He's like, all right, here it is. And then I don't know if it was a bet he did or whatever, but it's working. Whatever
Doesn't matter, right? I mean, nobody's asking. There's no cameras out there.
There's no cameras out there. No.
Yeah.
I just know that there's probably beer at every hole. So I'm
Right.
not exactly what's happening, but they're relegated to playing with Kyle for 3 or 4 hours.
Well, I guess maybe I'll have to drag my feet here a little bit so that Sal will have to send me down to Florida as the weather changes here in Chicago. If we want to continue to raise money, I'll have to go somewhere that the weather conditions allow for golf in
a little
December,
Arizona.
January.
Yeah, a little Arkansas. That'd be all right too.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
so Kyle, where are some of your ideal golfing spots to raise capital, or just in general? Where
St. Andrews.
Sure. Yeah, we have to get over there soon. I'll go anywhere. I like to play golf all over the country, and certainly the Ireland Scotland trip is on my bucket list. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I'm happy to go.
Well, since we're on the slot of golf, I don't know where it is. I think it's in Africa. There's a hole that's like you have to take a helicopter to,
I've seen
and
that before. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty amazing. So you'll have
it
to get that
is.
one in there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
besides all the golf stuff, let's swing it back a little bit here. Swing. Did you see that little thing I did there?
Yes.
What's the most surprising thing you've learned since joining Jorie, Kyle?
You know,
Be careful what you say there, Kyle.
no, I think the most surprising thing that I've learned is, what rough shape healthcare facilities and hospitals were in, and I just didn't really. I knew it, but I didn't know, what a scramble it was for them just to break even. And so, for me to be able to come in and be a part of a company that wants to be, obviously wants to be profitable, but really wants to remedy a situation that's really, in rough shape. So for me to learn exactly how much trouble some of these healthcare facilities in was new to me and shocking even. So excited that we have a solution that can help the bottom line of a lot of these hospitals and healthcare facilities across the country.
Yeah. Yeah. So what keeps you excited about working in this world of AI and health tech?
There's a few things. Obviously, I'm excited that I continue to get to meet new people and learn about their experiences and encourage them to become and be a part of Jorie and our solution. And being able to work with Chris and Sal and Arlene on a daily basis is an amazing situation for me. They're extremely smart. I always joke they seem to be playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. So to be with someone that's so innovative and intelligent, and we have. It seems like we have daily wins, right? We're not just on the investor side, but on, more importantly, I guess, even on the business development side, where we're breaking through and bringing on new clients. And every day is exciting, and that's not an easy thing to accomplish in your work life. And I've been here just over a year now, and I can honestly say it's one day after another. It just continues to get more and more exciting.
Very cool. So now we've got a couple fun questions here. What's the best piece of professional advice that you ever received? And it doesn't have to be from Sal.
One that always sticks out to me is from my dad, who was a grinder and a very successful salesman for 40 plus years. It was work hard, play hard, right? You gotta grind when you need to grind, but you also have to remember to enjoy yourself and enjoy your family and friends. So that's one that's always kind of resonated with me. And
he plays harder than he works.
Uh-oh.
Where did that come from?
Voice out of the...
Yeah, where did that come from?
Work-life balance. Work-life balance.
Yeah.
So sometimes that nugget can be a game changer in one's career. So is there a mentor besides your father or figure that significantly influenced your career path?
Yeah, no, the first couple bosses that I had at my first law firm were certainly very influential to me. Both really successful, probably a 15-year gap in their ages, right? But both are still good friends. Both are people that I would call for advice, and were always there for me. And I learned a lot. I know we're talking about technology and an AI world, but I think I was able to differentiate myself early in my career because I would go to partners' offices and talk to them, not just send them an email, right? And I think because I did that, I got the opportunities to meet with clients at a younger age than I probably should have, and do things that younger associates probably weren't getting to do. So I know it's everyone's working from home nowadays, it seems like, and emailing and texting, but I always I tell younger people, any chance you get to get in front of someone and meet with them in person, it's to your advantage to do so.
Hey Kyle,
Yeah,
the next one, we're going to put you in the operating room. But I think you're going to max out the size for the scrubs, but that's all right. It's going to be a good thing, right? It's going to be a little tight, but I think we could squeeze you in.
Absolutely.
That'll be the next the next experience you'll have.
They'll never
the next
know.
phase of growth. Absolutely.
So if you weren't a lawyer, what other profession?
Well, can I be a sports agent without being a lawyer? I mean, that always seemed fairly
I don't know.
exciting to
He's
me,
going for the Tom
right?
Cruise. He's going for the
Uh,
Tom Cruise.
Money.
Yeah, show me the money.
Right?
Show me the money.
I mean, I had a finance background. I had family members that were brokers. So, certainly, I know Sal has an investment banking background back in the day. That seems exciting to me as well. I know it's a lot of work, but those were always of interest.
Cool. So you mentioned work-life commitments and balance there. How do you balance it? What do you do for fun besides golf? That doesn't count.
Yeah, no. Well, like I said, every day at work is fun, right? So I get to travel a lot with Sal and Chris, and we get to meet interesting people. That's a ton of fun. But my kids are my daughter is 10, my son is 13. They're both heavily involved in sports, and I spend a lot of time being an Uber driver, quite frankly,
Nice.
escorting them all over. And I'm coaching each one of their, a couple of their teams. So that's kind of my getaway is hanging out with my wife and kids and doing our sporting events. And we have a house in Michigan that we go to whenever we can on the weekends. So that's kind of a nice little getaway also.
Did you
A
say
family
Michigan?
man.
Michigan.
Soccer dad.
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't say this guy's from Michigan, man. I'm
I'm
Ohio
not from
State
Michigan.
fan. Oh, okay. All right, because that's going to crash real quick. But that's,
Yeah.
so I got
Competition.
one final question for you. We're going to pretend we're on Shark Tank, and I'm Mr. Wonderful.
Sure.
Why should you get my money?
Why should I get your money? Well, I can tell you why. Because we have a product that no one else has in a market that is a tremendous need for the same. And this is a situation where we are a unique sole source type of product. And we're not a startup. We've got a really nice book of business. This is not an opportunity that's going to be around long, but it's just a quick tidbit of what we do, right? A human being can process 50 insurance claims a day. Our bot does 70 an hour with a 99% accuracy, and that's just one component of the end-to-end solution that we
Right.
provide. So you're not going to find an opportunity to invest in a company, in my opinion. I know I'm biased, but this is a private equity investment where a lot of the risk has already been taken away. I mean, we've got a fully developed technology with a client base. I mean, there's not much more you could ask for in a private equity investment.
Sure. And would you like to do a legal disclaimer that this is not actually a request for investment and blah, blah, blah? Do you want to go through that?
Sure.
Or
I'll
should
have
we just
Derek
skip?
post something at the bottom.
There you go. Yeah, 'cause we want to make sure we stay out of trouble.
Absolutely.
We're going to make tons of money for our investors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hand over fist.
Yeah,
Send
hand
money
over fist,
now.
It'll be just outrageous amount.
Call
of
the
money.
800 number now
It's like
for the
we're giving away
telephone.
money
and-
right now.
See,
Giving
now
it
Yeah.
away.
this is where we have to mute Sal's mic. 'Cause
Whoopsie.
No, I mean honestly, Grant, what we've been doing is we've actually even on our client side, I've been turning down deals. If I didn't feel like the deal was strategic, where the client didn't believe in our automation, and we're going to relegate us to a process of selling them a widget, I'll walk away from that deal. And not often do I get that, but there was a couple of times where I felt like, well, this is not an engagement for us because we have enough people that are lining up for the strategy of Jorie to come in and find money for them. I truly feel that we are bringing a huge value to the healthcare institutions to find them money to the point where if you're not going to be on our side to help you out, then we're going to walk away from a process that might be only short-lived, and then we're going to invest all of our resources to transform an organization that needs to transform themselves first and
Yeah.
believe in the products that we're or our strategy that we're deploying. Kyle's like that guy on our forefront right now that is sending our message to the investors and giving a real conservative expectation of what they're investing in with Jorie. As a matter of fact, if we weren't in such a trajectory right now of growth, that we wouldn't even open up an opportunity for investment. Right now, Kyle is understanding and our investors are understanding that we're only opening this up because that we have the need to grow exponentially. And at this stage of the game, this is when that time is now for us. And then later on, obviously when it's revealed, what we've been able to accomplish from a client capture revenue perspective, it's it's too late for that for investment at that point, or it's more expensive, one or the other.
Right.
But we feel like we're bringing extreme value to the people that we engage with, not only our investors, but particularly to our clients, who I feel like if I'm going to go into a hospital, that I better be coming in there to help save them money or help keep their doors open. This is truly our mission, and looking forward to it. And that's what we all believe in. Kyle, Derek, everyone here, and Kyle's just one of the pieces that are so instrumental, because we never really get to focus on Kyle. So because we're all on the operational side and we're running around, and Kyle's out there just basically championing Jorie across, using everything that he knows about Jorie, using his skill set as an attorney and as a communicator and as a golfer to, again, shame the clients into investing their money into whatever bet he does. But nevertheless, I kid you there, Kyle does do a great job at representing Jorie Healthcare.
Is it true that I heard that your door has a subtitle that says "So many golf courses, so little time"? Is that?
Yeah. I have an office there?
Yeah, that's it's virtual. It's virtually available. Well, gentlemen, Kyle, any one last thing you'd like to leave us with before we close for the day?
Yeah, no, I guess I just, again, so excited to be here as a part of the Jorie family. And, you mentioned some mentors, but certainly Sal, Arlene, and Chris have become new mentors to me. And it's inspirational to see how hard they work, how smart they are, how they prepare themselves, how they have a vision, and they see steps ahead of what they need to do to accomplish it. So it's a very exciting time for Jorie, but it's also very satisfying and exciting for me to be a part of the Jorie family.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for being here. And gentlemen, I think that's going to close us up on this episode of the Jorie Tech Talks podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be out when it's out.
Hey, one last thing before we shut down, Grant. I want to say that to put it out there for any investors that are listening to this podcast, what I like to do is set up a Top Golf outing where I will pay an investor $100 for anyone that could hit a long ball farther than Kyle. Okay, so
and if they don't,
yes.
Well, bring your checkbook out.
Yeah.
But believe me, that investment will pay you more handsomely than $100. All right. Well, thanks, Grant. I appreciate your time and appreciate everyone's time. Thanks, guys.
See you in a little bit on the next one.
All right.
Thank you, Grant. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Sal.